Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. I hope you all are having a great weekend. So, what you're about to see here is a re edited version of a video I released 2 years ago. This will be my first and probably last time doing something like this. Typically, when I put my videos out, it's there. I say what I say, I mean what I say, and you can do whatever you want with it. However, when I made this particular video concerning Terra in the OG Teen Titans show, I was sick as a dog. So my voice was crazy, which I don't really mind, but the editing, the pictures, everything about the production aspect was super janky. And I always went back to the video like, I gotta redo this one day because I don't like how it came out. There was a lot of dead air because I'm expressive and I wasn't on camera at the time. It was just very counterintuitive. So I went ahead, I re-edited it, repurposed it so that my points were a bit more clear and concise. And that's what this is. I feel like this is an important discussion to have, and I'm excited to bring it back to the forefront. I will totally link the original video if you want to sit through that, but here is the re-edited version. Enjoy. Hi guys, happy Friday. Beautiful day out. We are here. I am sorry about my voice. I'm recovering from a cold in the middle of friggin' May. I hate the weather, but it is what it is, right? Holy smokes, though. We have pretty much almost 140 subscribers. That's crazy. I never really thought that we would get to that point, so that's great. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the party. Let's have some fun. What are we going to talk about today? Well, today we're going to talk about something I've been wanting to get into for a while, long while, and that is Miss Terra from Teen Titans. Her character is frustrating. Yeah. That's like the best way to start. Seriously, I don't like her arc that she had season 2. I think it was rushed, and I think it was very much underdeveloped, which is not good considering this was her season. For those who don't know, the way that Titans is set up, every main character, with the exception of Starfire, unfortunately, gets their own season. So season 1 was Robin. Season 2 was Terra, Season 3 was Cyborg, Season 4 was Raven, and Season 5 was Beast Boy. Let's peer out and look at Terra's arc, right? Let's look at it. Terra doesn't show up until episode 3 of Season 2, so that's a 2-episode gap. From Terra to Titan Rising, which is her arrival and then her return, there's a 4-episode gap. From Titan Rising to Betrayal is 1 episode. And from Betrayal to Aftershock parts 1 and 2 is 1 episode. That's 5 episodes total out of 13 for the entire season. Do you see the problem? Do you see the problem with that? Less than half the season was spent developing your titular character and story arc for the season. That is not okay. And then on top of that, we have a 4-episode gap in between her arrival and her return. And the return is supposed to signify that now she's with Slade and she's here to infiltrate. And we have no development on that whatsoever, which is a problem, because it feels rushed. And I think that's why they ended up making it a 1-episode gap the rest of the season. It should have been 6 to 7 episodes focused on Terra, especially because you're doing a story where she joins the team, leaves, comes back, and now she's infiltrating, and she has betrayed them and their trust from the inside, which does not work in the show, in my opinion. Let's get into why it doesn't work, because it does not. She's not a good friend, right? So let's rewind back. Let's start with her origin episode, Terra. She comes in, right, and she saves herself from this monster in front of the Titans. Mind you, we don't really get an origin from her, ever. All we know about her is that she's running away. She runs away from herself and her issues. That's it. That's really all we know about her past. And I think that's to the show's detriment. I really do. Because us as an audience member, not having that insight as to who Terra is, it doesn't help put the pieces together as to why she would leave the Titans and go to Slade. To compare, let's look at Judas Contract from a couple years ago. That animated film based off the story of the same name and the same story that this is based off in the show. Terra in that movie had a backstory. She was like seen as a witch, and the people there were gonna kill her because she had powers. And who came in? Who came in and saved the day? Slade. That was the first person she met who really cared about her, who she felt really cared about her and had her best interests at heart. So it makes sense why she would gravitate towards Slade. It makes sense why Slade could easily manipulate her and groom her and unfortunately sexually abuse her, because they had that weird ass relationship. Slade, you're a creep. You are wicked for real. Slade, you are so wicked. I know Slade doesn't exist, but he is wicked. Like, so it makes sense, right? Why then she would go to the Titans Tower and infiltrate. There's no emotional connection between her and the Titans because she met Slade first. That is the point. She met Slade first in this movie. That didn't happen in the show. In the show, she met the Titans first. And she actually liked the Titans. She actually liked being around them. And you called them your friends. Your whole thing this episode is, I can't control my powers. I can't control my powers. I don't want them to know I can't control my powers, right? Which is just weird because you want to control your powers. It's conveyed in the show that she wants to learn how to control her powers. But how is that even going to work if you don't tell anyone? You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, even moving further into that episode, you're a part of a team where they care about you and they are willing to help you, and they're not judging you for not having control. And yet somehow in your mind that still gets mixed up and you leave. And then it still doesn't make sense because you not having control of your powers is not something you can hide. Everything that happened on the mission when she went with them, right? And then the cave came down and it almost crushed Beast Boy. Like, the team could tell you couldn't control your powers. It wasn't that difficult to put 2 and 2 together. And that's okay. You have a conversation with Slade on the other side of this cave. He tries to manipulate you. Like, look, if they find out who you are and your secret, they're not going to like you. They're going to reject you. They're not your friends. It literally falls flat on his face. His manipulation tactic bombs because in the next scene, Robin is completely understanding to the fact that she can't control her powers. He doesn't say it in a way that judges her. He doesn't say it in a way to tear her down. He's like, look, you just need some training because you can't control your powers. And she freaks and leaves. And we're supposed to believe that Slade's manipulation worked, and that's just not the case. And all of this would have worked had she not met the Titans first. Because they literally gave you a home. They gave you food. They invited you to be an honorary member of their team. They considered you like to be a part of their familial unit, which is not something that comes about easily. And you throw all that away on one comment from Slade that falls flat on his face a scene later. That's insane. It would have worked better had she literally just been a grifter, and then boom, Slade scoops her up. Like, the minute she was in the house and she was laying on the couch and she heard Robin say, look, we're gonna need to do training with her because we need to see what she can do, she should have left. It would have made more sense if she left, because she would have been afraid of them finding out, right? And, you know, and them not, you know, liking her and rejecting her. And then she would have just bounced overnight. And then Slade would have scooped her up because he had been watching her anyways. But we didn't get that. So it doesn't make sense that she would just betray the only people who really care about her and who considered her a friend. Then you come back and no one is batting an eye at all except for Raven and Robin. And I don't like, every time Raven has a valid concern, they blow her off. Like, oh, you're moody. You're doing too much. And I don't like that, because it's like, why? You know she's right. And it's suspect. You have Terra coming back out of the blue. And the last time we saw her, she accused our friend of lying, and she left because she didn't have control. She's coming back, doing all these flips and tricks, and immediately wants to insert herself in the team. That is suspect. I was with Raven all the way. And Robin's really the only one who usually has her back from the beginning, in terms of like her having valid concerns. So by the end of Titans Rising, you know, Raven finally opens up and lets her in. And her and Beast Boy have their little romance. Then we get to Betrayal. So it comes out that she was working for Slade. And this is where the sympathy is gone for me. In her other iterations, I find myself feeling more sympathy for her because she's a literal child, and you have this grown man taking advantage of her, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Here, while some of that is still there, it's a bit different because she has a lot more agency in the show. You had a choice, and you willingly went with Slade. You willingly took part in breaking the Titans down from the inside. You stole the security codes and let Slade's little henchmen in, and you watched as they annihilated the people you consider your friends. That's where she loses me. It's like you had a choice in this, and you chose to go with Slade because he helped you. You left to go with Slade because you wanted the one thing that the Titans were already willing to help you on. They were already willing to help you control your powers. And for some reason, you left anyways. So it's a no for me. And then you did Beast Boy real foul because you didn't have to entertain him. You didn't have to get in a relationship with him. Maybe her feelings were partly, you know, they were real, right? Because she met the Titans first. But you didn't have to go on a date with him. You didn't have to do that to get the job done. That's foul that you did Beast Boy like that. And I felt bad for Raven when Aftershock Part 1 comes around. Because she was furious with Terra. Because it's like, you let this girl in. And, you know, Raven, she don't let nobody in. Took her years to open up to the Titans. She opened up to Terra and she stabbed her and the rest of her friends in the back. And she was pissed because she allowed herself to be vulnerable around her. And that's why she lost that fight. I'm like, Terra, you ain't shit for real. Like, no. She was fighting them in Aftershock. Didn't hold back. Not one time. Didn't hold back. She wanted to do that to them. because you were in your feelings because Beast Boy said you don't have any friends. No, you don't have any friends. You willingly took part in taking us down from the inside. What are you talking about? Why are you upset? And then part 2, when Beast Boy and Robin were having that back and forth in the tower, and he was trying to compare when Robin was Slade's apprentice to Terra being under Slade, that is not the same thing. It is not. Because what happened with Robin and Slade, Robin did not do that willingly. He did not go to Slade willingly. Slade blackmailed him into being his apprentice, because he had the little poison in their bodies, in his teammates' bodies and Robin's body. Every time Robin fought the Titans in Apprentice Parts 1 and 2, he held back. Every single time, unless Slade was in his ear, threatening to kill them with the poison. It wasn't the same thing with Terra. Terra wanted to do that. She took joy in what she did in Aftershock Part 1. So I'm like, okay, bye, Terra. Like, no, I don't see it for you. And I'm like, Beast Boy, you were wrong to use that comparison. It's not a fair comparison. Robin didn't want to do that. And the only part in which Terra didn't want to do it came when they came back in Part 2 and they were ready to go ham on her. And now she's like, oh, I don't want to do it. Oh, no. Nah, stand in your britches, Terra. Ridiculous. That was just so frustrating, because it's like, you're not a good friend. You're not a good friend. Then she ends up sacrificing herself, which I guess that helps lessen her guilt. And she finally did the right thing. And then we don't see her again until the last episode, where she has convenient amnesia, which I don't think that's what that is. I think Terra remembers everything, but the guilt ate her so bad. There's no way she could confront them. There's no way she could confront the guilt over what she did. No way. So she was like, I'm done. I'm just gonna lead a normal life, and that it is what it is. Side note. Can we talk about Slade for a second? He was extremely abusive. I said, whoa, you have a really bad habit of having younger children under your wing and mentally, physically, and emotionally abusing them to being by your side. Because he damn sure twisted Robin's arm when he didn't follow his command. And he did the same with Terra. I think he like twisted it back. I said, ooh, ugh, Slade, gross. But anyways, as a whole, I mean, season 2 was frustrating. Terra didn't get the development she deserved. It felt really rushed, and the payoff wasn't there. It just wasn't there like I thought it was when I was a kid. I don't know. She has a crazy story in itself, but this wasn't done well, and it could have been, but it wasn't. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say on Miss Terra. Thank you for listening. I will catch you guys like tomorrow. I'll probably do a short video, and then I'll be resting my voice so it can heal. So yeah, thank you for listening. I will catch you guys later. Bye.